Good morning, everybody. Yes, I am late as all could be. Oh, man. Yeah, I was up a little too late last night. That's how it happens. Good morning, Sir Frank Otter, Ugly Chuckling Brenda. Brenda, Lil Sis, good to see you. JW, JD Fan, King Paco, Roxanne, Zach. Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome. So wonderful that Zach, good to see you. It's so good that you guys can actually entertain yourselves while I am not awake yet. Lexi, good to see you. Oh my gosh. Yes, got Debbie Walsh. Let's go, Brad. Oh no, you killed Chizzy. Nah. Is it true about AIDS creating car accident? The AIDS related car accident. That sucks. That sucks. I was there till he left and stayed up watching the YouTubers and got out of. Here I am watching at 5:30 in the morning. It happens. It happens. Got some splaining to do. Oh, I set up a 3D print for the expert. I figured out what was wrong with the one that I was trying to work on. It's good. I've got a lot of explaining to do. Not as much as the DNC has to explain. Now, I'm not one to, sit there and say, hey, they've got some sort of issue that I really noticed here, but there is some issue I really noticed here with the DNC on the first night. I wasn't the first one that noticed it. I mean, everybody else seemed to be spotting it out almost immediately too. And I don't know, maybe they're just too afraid to say something. I mean, it's so odd to me that as much as was happening in with the DNC that nobody really spotted this right away. I mean, or the DNC didn't spot it right away and try to do something about it. I mean, that's the kind of crap that they pull. That's the kind of crap that they pull, is they don't really want to talk about what's like glaring right in their face that shows how much disconnect they have with the rest of the world. With the DNC just really. No, we're not talking about the accident again. We're talking about how they just don't have what it takes to really garner support amongst the rest of the population. That's why I firmly believe that there was some other shenanigans going on that we never really were able to talk about, or they just don't want you to talk about. How do I put this nicely? I guess this is the best way to do it. There you go.
Great job, guys! Hey, all the way! All the way! I don't think it's a chemical weapon. The pepper spray is going in the other direction. Try and get upwind. Let them go! Let them go! Let them go!
Checkpoint is closed! This checkpoint is closed! This checkpoint is closed!
Let us in! Let us in! Let us
Yeah. Yeah, it was never noted throughout all the time that they were talking on the DNC. They never mentioned one single time the way that they acted 2016. Never once did they mention any of that. Yeah, they for some reason had this feeling about them that was disjointed. Like almost the entire time, something about it was just really disjointed. So they had protests yesterday morning at the DNC. That was I guess their claim to fame there was that they had protests in the morning pretty much all day long. Pretty much all day long they had protests going on at the DNC, and for some reason they just couldn't bring themselves to mention those. Or maybe they did. I just didn't really care. Yeah. It's and it looks like they've taken almost all of those, almost wiping them from the interwebs as quickly as possible. Let's see. The Palestine protest. Pretty simple. You pull it out, and they've got about 2 minutes. 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there, 3 minutes. And they always show these little protests about as happy and peaceful as they could possibly be. It says, oh, well, they're just mostly peaceful and quiet protests. Yeah. And you'll see that they, like Chicago news is pretty straightforward. This is what they had to say about it, and they're mostly peaceful but slightly fiery protests. There you go.
Vini has been with this group on the march route now. Good afternoon, Dave. What's happening where you are?
All right, Jim and Marie, right now I'm on Washington Street. The police have asked us, all of the media, to get onto the sidewalk to clear the street for the protest. Step out here for a second, Don. Oh, sorry. It is just across on Ashings.
Gathered at Union Park this afternoon. You heard Dave talking about this group. They
just show the flags. They show like the most peaceful part of these groups. As you see,
weapons to Israel and to end the deadly war in minds this week, but he believes that.
And you see how many little signs that they already have printed out. See, they've been ramping up for this. Yeah, which is basically 200 yards in any direction from where they are. Yeah. Oh, they'll never do that. They'll never do that. That would be way too much for them to do. But you'll see that they try to put them down as, oh, they're so lighthearted and so peaceful. They don't show the bad stuff these folks will do, all in the name of peace. The violence that they commit. They don't talk about them. The AP decides that the way that they've got to show this is I'll just show it to you because it's amazing to me how they can't seem to get it right here. Oh, Joe Biden's exit talks of the glass ceiling, a nod to Gaza protesters. And Democrat National Convention's first night showcase speeches from the Democrat to lose to Donald Trump and the last one to beat him. Mm-hmm. Hillary spoke hopefully of finally breaking the glass ceiling and elect a female president. As much as they show these people, I'll just show you part of the DNC. The parts that I've found out of the 6+ hours of this shit show is what they really think of you people. And you know, they get it kicked off here, and I'll probably just ignore some of this. But they open it up with a happy little crowd. They've got the flags out, of course. They come out with very little fanfare as paid attention to the American flag as they roll that out. But you know, they have to basically copy Donald Trump and everything, and the RNC. And you'll see throughout most of the early part of the night, they've got their.
We praise you, O God of all creation.
See, little token come out. And then, you know, just like, oh, aren't we happy? So happy. And then, of course, you get the anger and the vitriol.
From Mississippi to Pennsylvania to Delaware, Kamala Harris, she's got us.
Huh. And I'm the Virgin Mary, Jizzy's my son. Yeah.
From Michigan to Wisconsin to Nevada to California.
And it's, you know, it's pretty much this throughout a good portion of the night. It is constant pandering to the one party of the Democrats. One little group, until, you know, we'll throw those people a bone, give them a little bit in the token area here. And then, of course, they do get to their influencers. Yeah, they get to their influencers, like this guy right here. See, these guys are media influencers. And I pulled it. I did a search for this last night, and I was hoping to find it today, as I was just very curious about this particular person. I have to be careful because the DNC like to run commercials pretty much throughout the whole thing. Here it is. It was under Yahoo News that I found this. So this is it right here. Carlos Eduardo Espina, Deja Fox, Nabella Noor, among other social media influencers speaking at the 2024 DNC. DNC kicks off today in Chicago. High-profile speakers set the stage at McCormick Place Convention Center, United Center. While politicians, delegates, and are often familiar with the convention floor, this will be the first time they've welcomed influencers and content creators as credentialed members of the media. Over 200 social media personalities receive credentials for the convention, which runs through August 22nd. So this guy right here, and you notice that they have to put in there Carlos Eduardo Espina, 10.2 million TikTok followers. Most of these are kids under the age of under the voting age. Deja Fox, she was one that I saw speak. Oh yeah, she's an Arizona-based influencer who describes herself as a girl fighting for abortion. Oh, isn't she special? Olivia Juliana. Oh, yeah, of course, she's got 140,000 TikTok followers and 682 TikTok followers. And she's a Texan trying to make a difference in her Instagram bio. Oh, Nabella Noor, 7.6 million followers. John Russell, 1.81 thousand followers. And of course, they're giving it to campaigns to social first strategies and all this other kind of garbage. And they're paying them. They're paying them to be there. They're paying them as influencers to be there. That's what they're getting paid for. But it can work. I will say this much as a word of caution. 2016, Trump realized that the crowd would cheer louder and louder the wilder things he would say. Kamala is a moron, so they have to run that playbook. Yeah. They them, the Island Boys, yeah. Yeah. The audience. Well done, the audience sounds like they do too. Well, their audience really is not very large at this point in time. There's a reason why they didn't pan out on the crowd, because their audience is pretty low. They kept going to the wonderful idiots down there on the floor. And one that I saw in here that was really disappointing. So you've got, and I'll explain.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
See, they pan down to the floor, and most of these are media influencers. Just imagine a bunch of hyperactive little children all hyped up on coke. There you go. You've got your TikTok influencers. Yeah, it is a constant shit show throughout the entire evening. Here's what their crowds look like. And as you can see, those are pretty small crowds. But it's also day one. Is that Wilson? Wilson! But you can see the emptiness of a lot of the seats over here. You see the emptiness of the seats here. Here. Big gaps. You're going to see, because like I said, this is early on. Gaps up in here. Gaps here. They've got quite a few, gaps down here where people haven't started filing in. I believe this is where Camel Toe ends up sitting, somewhere over here. So they can showcase her sort of like a highlight, but yeah, it's blank seats up here, blank seats here, blank seats here, blank seats here, blank seats here. Yeah, so you got these big gaps that run through there, but that's not going to be abnormal for the first day. But they do get out all their placards. There are hundreds of thousands of placards. I mean, they put Kinko's into business, because as the day grows, and I think the reason they did it is to make it look like there's more people there than there actually is. So you'll see a lot of these placards like this, little things right here, except they'll say like, go USA, whatever their little signs are. So I think they use them to make it look like they've got a bigger crowd than they actually have. So we'll see.
They made together. They got people vaccinated. They got the virus under control. They safely reopened our schools.
Well, that was going to happen anyway. That was what was going to happen. You remember that whenever Trump rolled out the vaccine, that everyone was saying, we're not taking it. We're not going to take it. We're not going to do it. We're not taking the vaccine. We're not doing it. It's Trump. It's a Trump vaccine. Oh yeah, we forget about that. Embarrassing. He's from Texas. Yeah, he's pretty embarrassing. And then we get to these
moments,
this lovely lady.
Especially in those moments, Donald Trump dithers, Kamala Harris delivers.
Well, and Biden diddles. So I mean, but she doesn't do much of anything. As you see, she's been unable to have much of a conversation on the stage. And all these people that they're rolling out, whenever you see them roll these folks out,
The Yunnan Colonel President.
Yeah, it almost seems like they're just token people. They got music that's bad, it'll get me in trouble.
Claude coming.
Yeah. So this is what they show. They got their little union. Hooray, hooray, hurrah, hurrah. And they did this almost throughout the entire evening. All the influencers down here. Most of these are influencers, you see? Influencers. All just interspersed throughout the crowd. What does this old guy have to say? Yeah, they've got so much music that'll just get me in trouble. I have to pay attention without the music. This guy looks scary, freakishly scary. Freakishly scary.
Union, yes! Union, yes! Union, yes!
Yeah, so this is all they have.
All right. I'm Lee Saunders, president of AFSCME, a union of 1.4 million.
Yeah, 1.4 million members of his union. Yeah. This is how they rile up their living members. All the dead people vote Democrat, but don't need to be riled up. Well, it is you get to hear from their union members, and then of course, you know, they have to have their rock star show up, you know. Oh, I'll come out here and I'll sing. Hooray, hooray, hurrah, hurrah. Let her sing a little song. Ha ha. All right, here we go. This is Deja Fox. Okay, so she's the one that I was telling you about that made me even look this up, of how involved they are in the DNC.
Is tough, not just tough talking. One who shatters the boundaries of what's possible, not the boundaries of what's legal.
Now, I've been watching the DNC do all kinds of legal things this today. No, yes, you've been watching how legal they've been. Of all the people I would think Shizzy had an AI music filter. Yeah, well, you know, it's amazing the stuff that I do have.
And one who wipes the floor with cheats and fraudsters because, well, Democrats, she knows the type.
Yeah, see, they're trying to boost up Kamala is being tough on crime. Yeah, like to the point where the Supreme Court is saying you have to release that guy that you've got in prison. You have to release him because he's been acquitted of all those crimes. Yeah. Yeah, it's the lack of self-awareness as an NPC test. She knows the type isn't helpful. Yeah, she's
Democrats, that president, the president that we deserve.
Well, the president that you deserve is the president that you're going to get, sweetheart. You know, it's almost like they want this big division in the country. They have to have this big division in the country. Here, I'll bring it to the Deja Fox or whatever her name is, because this guy's singing is absolutely horrible. Where is it? Yeah, here you go. Here's all of your happy people, shiny happy people to see Camel Toe. And the night was just filled with complete falsities and untruths. There we go. Ah, you son of a bitches. Trying to get me in trouble. And there she is. So, if you look, this group right here, these are their social media influencers. And you notice that the camera pans down to them in a perfect harmony. Look, I'm a TikTok follower. Let her dance for a little bit.
Hi everyone, I'm Deja Fox, and
See, she never was up on stage, but she was down there speaking to the crowd. Crowd is the father of lies. Yeah.
I'm so excited to be here today from Arizona. That's right.
Now, notice how you got a bunch of people crowded in there. Just like, let's get my face on camera.
That's where I was born and raised by a single.
And you see that she's on the big screen. You mentioned that for no reason. Of course, I understand.
Mom. I was a free lunch kid raised in.
You were a free lunch kid raised in poverty, and then I found TikTok, and now I have, 700,000 followers. Most of them are, not even of legal drinking age, and it's probably mostly young boys that just want me to show my breastages.
Public housing, and I got my health care at Planned Parenthood.
Really? I very much doubt this is true. Because if you're getting health care at Planned Parenthood, because what I could remember, Planned Parenthood does not provide health care. I mean, she might have got her condoms from Planned Parenthood, if that's what she considers health care. But yeah, they don't do that. Who is Deja Fox? Deja Fox, yeah. Yeah.
Because of policies that lift people up, I walked through the gates of.
She's having to read this off of a teleprompter. She's reading this off of a teleprompter. STD meds is healthcare, sir? Oh, I'm sorry. That is true. With your tax dollars? Yeah, what healthcare do they offer with your tax dollars? Well, they sell arms. Legs. Kidneys.
My dream school as a first-generation college student. People my age are making big decisions about our lives, and we.
Really? Just remember the like. Oh yeah. Remember what? That's what she needs to say.
We deserve a president who has our back.
Oh yeah, I bet he has your back. I bet he scrub it really close. Just
not some power-hungry millionaire reality.
Wait, you realize that Biden's up there in the multi-millions, right? You realize that Harris is worth millions, right? Do you not get this? Deja Vu Fox, whatever your name is.
TV personality who only cares about himself. We need Kamala Harris. She'll deliver a future where we can decide if and when to start a family. A future where we can afford rent and groceries.
You realize the situation you're in, sweetheart, is because we've had, for the past 4 years, your party, the one that you're over here getting paid to promote, caused that. I don't think they understand this. It seems to me that they don't get it. Of course, she's getting paid to be there, so it doesn't matter to her. Like she's getting paid.
Sure. Where we're not crushed under student debt, a future where any free lunch kid can walk through the gates of their dream college.
Really? Really? Yeah. And you'll see that this is just this little group of of social media influencers. Like, all these people are getting paid to group up and show support, stand around her and clap because they're all reading the same teleprompter. All right, everybody look happy. Like, this is where you want to be. And as you see, the USA flags start coming out. Little USA banners. Because it worked so well for Trump that they had to start showing their support by having their little USA flags also. Look, we'll scream USA, USA, USA.
For young people, this is a fight for our future. We have a responsibility to do this, and we have a responsibility to do it right, and that's why we're going to show up for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And here now, with a musical performance,
is somebody I don't care to hear. Somebody I don't care to hear. Or you want to see another media influencer? Here you go.
And I am a two-time Trump voter. I will not be voting for Trump this time around.
Uh-huh. But you notice they've got to cut and edit it. Really weird. See, this was intentional by the DNC to have these clippable moments that they could pull off of TikTok and post on TikTok.
I'm actually embarrassed to say that I did vote for Trump in 2016.
I doubt it. I doubt that any one of these people that are talking about that they voted for Donald Trump, I very much doubt that any of these people did. I very much doubt that any of these people voted for Donald Trump. As much as they say it, I don't believe it. Yeah, paid actors. Oh, you want to see some paid actors? I've got videos of that. Yeah, I've got videos of that. Where is it that I put that? Let's see. Because there was a video that got posted. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that I have it here in. Did I save it? Don't know if I saved it or not. Let's see. Was it here? Was it there? Nope. It looks like it didn't save for whatever reason. Is this it? Let me see. Paid actors. There it is. Everybody had done a scene for it already. Yeah, here it is. This is it right here. I'll share it with you guys so you can see it.
They kicked us out of Permane Brothers. They say it's a problem. You are terrible people.
Tell us again, what happened at Permane Brothers?
They kicked us out of Permane Brothers so that they could get the paid actors inside.
Ridiculous.
Yes. There's all the paid actors.
Look at all these people. My God.
Yeah.
Holy hell. All these actors in these vans. I know. They can't even afford actors.
They kicked us out of Permane.
Yeah. So imagine you're in some place, you don't like the person that's there. Zach, why are you ignoring me? Why are you ignoring Nosy Rosie? It's just promoting Daddy Trump's opportunity. That's exactly it. They get it. But they're being paid to do these things. They're being paid to do these things.
Kamala Harris is allegedly paying influencers and celebrities $20,000 each to attend the DNC convention through PR agents. There's an email that's being sent to influencers from public relations managers who got paid by the campaign to inform celebrities and influencers that they can be compensated by the DNC. In addition to pay, the DNC is offering flights, hotel, credentials to the convention, exclusive invites to private parties and events happening during the week in Chicago. Influencers and celebrities are required to post on social media while at the event to be eligible. That's insane. Kamala Harris is allegedly paying influencers and celebrities.
Yeah. Yeah. And you'll see the influencers throughout the night as they run around, and these people are actors.
Donald Trump has nothing but contempt for the American people. And ironically,
Really? Show me where and when and how that's true. I don't believe it.
for those who claim to be his base, he's only interested in benefiting himself personally.
Everything he said he would do, he did not do. I do not trust that he can do the right thing anymore.
We've seen what Donald Trump really is, and it disgusts me to my core.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. You know, and then of course they've got their wonderful little group here, trying to get the best shots they possibly can. Show her crowds, AI crowds. And then of course we have all of your multimedia influencers. And the reason you know there's influencers is because see that little bracelet right there, this little guy right here. Yeah, he was the one that was standing in the background while Deja Food, whatever her name was. And they're just interspersed throughout the crowd, but towards at a certain time they're told to be at a certain space so they can actually keep them talking. The RNC should do the same damn thing, but they're hell bent on losing. True, very true. Business traders at the riot at the Capitol was not the worst he did. Well, that's funny, but the people that were there at the Capitol were actually trying to make their voices heard, and not all of them were rioting. There was a few of them that were. Not all of them were. Yeah, as you can see, the seats are pretty empty right now, and they remain pretty empty. And of course, they'll put up little slogans like Trump is a scab, but he can't be a scab because, well, he's already he is a union member. They tend to forget this. He may not be anymore, but yeah, he was a union member for quite some time. He was also part of the Actors Guild. Yeah, it's hard to believe that, you know, he doesn't have anything against unions, but of course we get to listen to the smartest woman in the world here. Yeah. This feces of a human being is going to say something, but we got to let the music play for a little bit. We'll wait until she gets up there. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey everybody. You know, I am so popular that I had to show up on the first day because, well, you know, they had to have somebody here to bring in the crowds. And of course, got the music playing. There we go. Let's hear what.
For your energy. Thank you, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, for your vision.
And it's amazing to me, as much as you're hearing everybody shout AOC, you're really not seeing the crowd shout out that much. And I noticed this a lot last night. Just watch the crowd as you hear the thunder of AOC being shouted, how much you're actually seeing the crowd out front holler for. See? You notice that as you hear the AOC, you knew you heard a horse's ass. Yeah. Let's hear what she has to say.
Thank you, Chicago, for your energy. Thank you, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, for your vision.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Joe Biden, for your leadership.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 6 years ago, I was taking omelet orders as a waitress in New York City. I didn't have health insurance. My family was fighting off foreclosure, and we were struggling with...
Did she say 6 years ago? Did she say 6 years ago she was waiting tables? Or was it 8 years ago? Because that was, that's a lie. It was 9.
You know, 6 years ago...
Oh, 6 years ago. She was that's not possible. 6 years ago? 6 years ago. Maybe I'm mistaken. Well, let's see. Let's see. She's been a representative in the New York's 14th district since 2019. Oh yeah, she got elected in 2020, so she ran in 2019. That doesn't seem right. I'm pretty sure she had been doing this before then. So she started doing politics in 2019? Operation side, whatever extent possible, doesn't matter how many people you get to vote. I mean, the Republicans are serious. The top 2 priorities should be getting the robust and extensive a legal team ready to roll on election night, leveling the playing field. And I've said this before. If the RNC wants to do something, they really want to change the way that they do their voting. Every single blue state, every single blue county, every single blue district should have their votes put in first. And all of those red ones, all of those Trump supporting counties and areas should hold their vote until the end of the night. I mean, you'll get some that come in and show that Kamala is winning, and they'll be wanting to call it. But as soon as they get to the point where they've gotten almost all of, because this is the same thing that happened during 2016. Same thing that happened in 2020. They didn't start putting all of the blue states in until after the red states had posted their votes. And as the night wore on, we saw what happened in 2020. So wait until all of the blue states got their votes in. Once they've got all of those cast, then you don't want them to know the size of the goal they're shooting at. Exactly. I don't want them to know. I
was taking omelet orders as a waitress in New York City.
And where were you working at, AOC, that you were taking omelet orders? Because it seems to me that you're paid just as well as you could possibly be paid.
I didn't have health insurance.
Well, that is a you problem. If you didn't have health insurance in 2019, then there was some issues. Okay, so if she joined in 2019, she didn't have health insurance, then she should be blaming Obama for that. I'm pretty sure that she's been in politics longer than that. But hey, what do I know?
My family was fighting off foreclosure, and we were struggling with bills after my dad passed away unexpectedly.
You know, I just find her very, very unlikable. I think she's cute. Just as soon as she opens her mouth, it's annoying. If AOC gets on the poll, you'll show up. Just saying. Yeah. I mean, she won her general in 2018. See, I just, they mean nothing to me because, well, first of all, she's in the Bronx or New York or some crap like that. So, I mean, she really means very little to me.
Unexpectedly from cancer. Like millions of Americans.
Wait a second. If he died unexpectedly from cancer, then that wasn't unexpected. Unless he just wasn't going to get regular checkups. I mean, sorry for your loss, but that's a you problem.
We were just looking for an honest shake. And we were tired of a cynical politics that seemed blind to the realities of working people.
Well, you can blame your party for that. As they've constantly throughout this night, they kept rolling out people as tokens. And all the way up until the very end.
It was then, only through the miracles of democracy and community, that the good people of the Bronx and Queens chose someone like me to elect them in Congress. And America, in my heart, I know from that same cloth of hope and aspiration, we will also elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz as President and Vice President of the United States of America.
Very well.
I am here tonight because
you
America has before us a rare and precious opportunity. In Kamala Harris, we have a chance to elect a president who is for the middle class because she is from the middle class.
No, she's not.
She understands the urgency of rent checks and groceries and prescriptions. She is as committed to our reproductive and civil rights as she is to taking on corporate greed.
No, she's not.
And she is working tirelessly.
She is part of the corporate greed.
To secure a ceasefire in Gaza and bringing hostages home. In Kamala Harris, I see a leader who understands.
And see, they're trying to pay lip service to what's going on outside. They're trying to pay lip service to this. This is what's happening outside all day long. This is what you were able to see all night long. And we're talking 3.5, 4 hours into it, and nothing's calmed down. And it just continued on and on and on and on and on and on and on. That was what was happening outside throughout the whole day. But they don't want to tell you about that. They just want to play lip service to it. It is just lip service. And, well, AOC has lips. Or teeth, I should say. Yep. Really? That's not true at all. But okay. How do you have free gay sign bearers next to free Palestine bearers? Yeah. Yeah. I think they're just mad because they couldn't get in. They weren't good enough influencers. That's probably what it was. I want to get paid too.
Greasing the palms of his Wall Street friends. And I, for one, am tired of hearing about how a two-bit union buster thinks of himself as more of a patriot than the woman who fights every single day to lift working people out from under the boots of greed, trampling on our way of life.
Media influencer right there. He got paid to show up.
The truth is done.
And of course they got their little USA, we fight, we win, we fight, we win. Of course, you know who's actually fighting for the American people, and it's not her. Fights with her lip service only.
You cannot
Media influencers all over the place.
love this country if you only fight for the wealthy and big business.
Really? Really? And who's paying your bills? AOC.
To love this country is to fight for its people. All people, working people.
The only problem is, I mean, that's a pretty good spot there to leave it off, you know, to leave off where she's at, you know. You could just draw things right here that, you know, I mean, it is pretty interesting, the hand motion and mouth motion that she never mind, I shouldn't do that. That's so mean.
Everyday Americans like bartenders and factory workers and fast food cashiers.
Oh yeah, who paid for your Met Gala ticket, AOC? Paige pays her. Perfect pic of her. Yes, it was. Sorry. I almost I mean, I keep seeing this and she looks like a blow-up doll. I'm just saying.
Who punch a clock and are on their feet all day in some of the toughest jobs out there.
Really? How come we don't have any women doing those toughest jobs out there? See, all of a sudden they know what women are. Up until this point, they had no idea what a woman was. They couldn't define a woman.
You know,
and as you see, it is mainly media influencers here. These are all TikTokers, influencers that are sitting amongst all of these crowds. And then you see stuff like that with a mask. Really? Why are you wearing a mask?
ever since I got elected,
See, has a dream.
Republicans have attacked me by saying that I should go back to bartending.
Yeah. But she can't. It's too much money in here. Actually, we mock you because you are a complete idiot. Like that's why you get mocked. And we don't care what you go back to doing. We don't even care if you stay in your spot. I mean, please do. Please stay where you're at. Because you were like comedy, like 101.
But let me tell you, I'm happy to any day of the week because there is nothing wrong with working for a living.
Uh-huh. All right. Then go. If you want to. Imagine a road trip with AOC. Yes, actually, ugly truckling. I can imagine a road trip with AOC. I have a whole basket full of chew toys, and I'm sure that I can find a ball gag somewhere, probably some duct tape to keep it in. She has moments of clarity, few and far very between, but her extreme progressive side just makes them irrelevant. You can make good money bartending if you're savvy. You can imagine having her as your therapist. Oh yeah, that would be wonderful. Wheels on the bus go round. If you know, you know. See, all these people down here are media influencers. All of these people down here are the people that are getting paid to show up.
Imagine having leaders in the White House who understand that. Leaders like Kamala and Tim.
Yeah, if you want to have your city burned down, you want to kill children, why not? Why not have a couple of leaders like that in there?
But Chicago, just because the choice is clear to us, does not mean that the path will be easy. Over the next 78 days, we will have to pour every ounce, every minute, every moment into making history on November 5th.
Yes. That look right there is just a look of pure evil. Yeah, that is the look of evil.
But we
Like big old butt. Like
cannot send Kamala and Tim to the White House alone.
Really? After 5 minutes, you just ask her to leave the bottle and promise to tip 30%. It should just go the hell away. Exactly. That is so true.
Together, we must also elect strong Democratic majorities in the House and in the Senate so that we can deliver on an ambitious agenda for the people. Because if you are a working...
See, media influencer, social media influencer.
Parents trying to afford rent and childcare, Kamala is for you.
Well, what has she been doing for the past 3.5 years? She speaks too. If
you are a senior who had to go back to work because your retirement didn't stretch far enough, Kamala is for you. If you're an immigrant family just starting your American story.
If you're an illegal immigrant just starting your American story. Yeah, Maxine Waters. Yeah, Maxine Waters speaks. But see, right at this point in the night, this is their prime time slot for the evening. Okay. And this is why you'll see AOC, you'll see the Hildebeest, you'll see Maxine, watery background. She'll be here also. Seniors were doing okay under Trump. Seniors were doing really good under Trump. Seniors were doing marvelously well under Trump. But they failed to recognize any of the good stuff. Any of the good stuff was not being good. I mean, they were horrible. They were absolutely horrible.
Kamala is for you.
Oh no, she isn't.
America, when we knock on our neighbor's door, organize our communities, and elect Kamala Harris to the presidency on November 5th, we will send a loud message that the people of this nation will not go back. We choose a new path and open the...
I gotta get her speed right. I gotta get her speed right. The speed for her is about like this.
door to a new day, one that is for the people and by the people. Thank
Makes her look like a chihuahua. And I have a chihuahua.
you. Thank you very much. God bless. God bless you all.
Yep. Multimedia, a lot of influencers there. And there is Camel Toe's husband, of course. Then they get up here, they talk a little bit, but we got to get to the Hildebeest here, because you know you got to be tortured.
And now we are writing a new chapter in America's story. You know, my mother Dorothy was born right here in Chicago before women.
Oh wow! She panders to her crowd, doesn't she? You can't take a migraine. It's bad enough. You can't take no more migraine. Bad enough. Later, we'll see you. But not Chihuahua cute. No, not even. Looks like Clinton had a lot of face work done. Oh yeah.
Women had the right to vote.
Okay.
That changed 104 years ago yesterday.
So she's saying that her mother was in Chicago whenever women didn't have the right to vote. Good Lord. I've had enough life yet to handle AOC and Hillary back to back. Yeah. But you have to, because the train wreck is more than people expect.
Think about it. Tennessee became the final state to ratify the 19th Amendment to the Constitution. The state legislature was deadlocked until one.
Well, yeah, you also forget that they were better lives parents.
To afford childcare, young people struggling.
But see, they considered childcare, deleting them. Talk to the people of Dalton, Hillary, Democrats Tiffany Hayard and her group robbed the village blind. Exactly. Can we skip her, please? Can we skip her, please? Yeah. He was dementia strong, and we will be playing that. Yeah, I really don't care to hear what she has to say, because to me she sounds bitter. See, here she is talking about grandchildren, yet their goal is to not have you to have grandchildren. They want to take that away. This guy's an idiot.
And thank you for the beautiful weather, Chicago. It's been a little rough on Capitol Hill, where it's not just the heat, it's the stupidity.
Whoa. And you're still in this room. I believe she is better. Yeah, she's just a little better. Just a little better. See, and like I said, these are media influencers right here. All media influencers. And I was going to pull it up, but I didn't. Oh, Warnock. Oh, that guy's an idiot. I felt so bad that I didn't even want to show it. Yeah, this guy right here. Yeah. Mayor Dan, yes. Mayor Dan is here. So they brought out Jesse Jackson in a wheelchair. They just rolled him on out so he could wave to a crowd. And they had all of the little race baiters there, and they just rolled him on off. That's all that they could do with Jesse Jackson. This guy's about as crooked as can be.
She grew up in Waycross, Georgia. Do you know where that is?
Yes, I know where Waycross, Georgia is. And you know what's amazing? You know what's amazing about Waycross? Is right now in Waycross, you can buy 1 acre of property and a house for about $100,000. Weird, huh? Jesse loves white people. Yes. I know where Waycross is. And I know the status of Waycross too. Do you know how Waycross got its name? Because it's where 2 intersections came across for industry. That's how it got its name. So you had a train station that ran through there, and you had a highway that ran through Waycross.
It's Waycross, Georgia.
Ha 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 ha.
She grew up in Waycross, Georgia, where she picked other people's cotton.
Really? So did Jesse. Do you love black people? I love black people. I love all people. Yeah, love black people. People don't like him. He's treating illegals better than the taxpayers. Yeah. No, this is not the Chicago mayor. This is Warnock from Georgia. Because the United States of America, we always dream about okay, my children will be okay. I need all of my
neighbor's children to be okay. Poor.
Yeah, but you won't have any neighbors' children because you keep killing them off. Biden was at Joe's side.
Every step of the way, fighting for education, advancing the cancer moonshot, determined to improve women's health care,
And they consider women's health care deleting children. That's what they consider women's health care. And of course, Jill shows up because she's about, sorry, she's the old nanny. Yeah, she was Biden's nanny before his wife died in a horrible car accident. And continued to be his nanny. Oh yeah, he's really good friends with Fanny. Or as they want to say, Fanny, but okay. Oh, horrible. Don't give me the music.
It doesn't come from intimidation or cruelty. It comes from the small acts of kindness that heal deep wounds, from service to the communities that make us who we are, from love of a country that shines with promise and renewal.
And you guys are doing everything you can to destroy that. The worst elder abuser, yes. Oh, the Georgia guy, I remember. I bet he's good friends with him. Yeah. He went to school in Leesburg, Georgia. Yeah. Yeah. Was better on than the DNC was a better audience than the RNC. Okay. Yeah, for the first day, because whenever you pay media influencers to be there, yeah, you're going to have a bigger crowd. Looks like a $4.99 Forever 21 t-shirt.
Kamala Harris knows that too. Our son Beau first worked with Kamala when he was Attorney General of Delaware. He told me at the dinner table one night, "Mom, she's special."
Oh, yeah. 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 Beat Donald Trump, and she knows in 2024 to beat Donald Trump. And also the DNC, the first day, kept talking about Project 2025. That was one of their big talking points. Project 2025, Project 2025, because nobody is supporting it. And here we go. Here's the lame duck president.
Courageous heart can heal a nation and maybe even the world. And now this election requires.
Now, didn't he get a little snuggly with you and take showers with you? "2020, call upon your courageous heart and stand with us today. Ever worked before in your life? Fight." Oh, reproductive rights. That's a look right there. They consider reproductive rights killing children. That's their consideration of reproductive rights. Beautiful, huh? Let's get yeah, see. Let's see. We'll have to mute this because I'm sure they have music. It's looking for the open mouth kiss there. Yeah, I still don't know or care what Project 2025 is. Tens of Trump staffers were part of Project 2025. Some of them might have been. Of course, you know that there's music. And of course, you have all these little placard signs. "We love Joe." And of course, you know, it looks like they had a pretty good crowd there. And just watch, you'll see what I mean. So that's a pretty good sized crowd. The only problem that I have with this is all the signs that you see up here, all of these vertical signs that they have, gives the impression that there's more people than there actually is. I mean, I can still see some pretty good gaps up here in the upper nosebleed sections. Music. Yeah, they still have the music going. Thank you, music. More music. Media influencers.
Thank you.
So why would he drop out if he had this much support? Because it looks to me like he's got tons of support. So why would he drop out? Did Hunter show up? Well, Hunter showed up, but he's probably in the back, you know? You know how these things go at the conventions. Friends, robots, countrymen, lend me your rear. DNC slogan 1984, 1984, 1984.
Thank you.
No, I mean, he's getting a pretty good reception. He's getting a pretty good His afternoon naps are getting in the way of business.
Thank you.
Oh, how he gets kicked down the stairs so quickly. It's Brandon! What's up?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'm gonna get some coffee. Hey, that's my daughter. I remembered her.
Thank you.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the... I tell you what. To my dearest daughter, Ashley, God love you, you're incredible. Thank you for that introduction and for being my courageous heart, along with Hunter and our entire family, and especially our rock, Jill, who, as those of you who know us, she still leaves me both breathless and speechless. Everybody knows her. I love her more than she loves me. She walks down the stairs and I still get that going boom, 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 boom.
That's because you didn't know who it was the first time.
Kidding. Let's give a special round of applause to our First Lady, Jill Biden. My dad. My dad used to have an expression, for real. He'd say, Joey,
For real.
family is the
Means
beginning,
this is a lie.
the middle,
If he's saying for
and
real,
the
it means
end.
it's a lie.
And I love you all. Folks.
He was falling.
And America, I love you. Folks, let me ask you. Let me ask you, are you ready to vote for freedom? Are you ready to vote for democracy and for America? Let me ask you, are you ready to elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, President and Vice President of the United States? My fellow Democrats, my fellow Americans, nearly 4 years ago, in winter, on the steps of the Capitol, on a cold January day, I raised my right hand and I swore an oath to you and to God to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and to faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States. In front of me was the city surrounded by the National Guard. Behind me, a Capitol that 2 weeks before had been overrun by a violent mob. But I knew then, from the bottom of my heart, that I knew now, there is no place in America for political violence.
Really? Really? No place for political violence? There's no place for political violence. Like this right here?
There were times overnight when Washington was in chaos. There were running battles between protesters and police through the streets. And coursing through the crowd was a seething anger that only built as the evening wore on. Some activists at times pleaded with the police to show restraint.
Why don't you guys stand up against the bad cops?
Kneeling and begging them to see that there is another way than confrontation.
What is your message to these police officers?
My message, to treat us like American citizens, to treat us like we matter, to treat us like you're actually here to protect and serve. There's no reason for y'all to pull a gun out on us before actually trying to figure out the situation, to try to understand.
Yeah. Peaceful like that. Talking about peaceful like that. Is that the kind of peace we're talking about? That there's no need for political violence? No need for political violence. Huh. Is that what they were talking about or referring to? Okay.
You cannot say you love your country only when you win.
No. Really? You can't do that only whenever you win, huh? Really? Really? You can't say it only whenever you win? Sort of like this right here?
Robert Youngblood was in a Florida restaurant wearing his Make America Great Again hat when surveillance video shows a man walking behind Youngblood and put what he says was a balled up wet paper towel on the brim of his hat.
And I hear him yelling and screaming at the top of his voice.
Youngblood says he was attacked for wearing his MAGA hat, another example of politics coming to a boiling point in public. In February, on UC Berkeley's campus, this conservative activist was punched in the face. Also, a Coast Guard lieutenant was arrested, accused of having a hit list of Democrats and journalists.
We've seen these types of incidents.
Yeah. Yeah, see, they don't like to talk about that. They don't like to talk about that. Summer of love, mostly peaceful protesting. Where have we seen that before? Yeah. Yeah, that's that right there is what you're told to believe. That oh, it's because it's not okay to have political violence. But yet this is what we saw in 2016.
Not my president! 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 The whole world is watching! The whole world is watching! Lock down Trump! 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 Lock down Trump!
Anyone but Trump 2024. You're voting for Kamala. Good for you. Good for you, Tinkle Tits. Really, it is. That is a wonderful thing that you're actually going to be out there voting. Really, it is. And when people say that, hey, we allow all people on here to vote whoever they want to. It's kind of catchy, though. It is kind of catchy. By the way, Tinkle Tits, thank you for the $20 super chat. I appreciate you, brother. I really do.
Love Trump Day! Love Trump Day!
I'm going to get to my point. Hold on. I'll just make my point. All of us here, whether we're women, people of color, working class.
This is not what people want, and this is what it looks like to resist, to fight back against Donald Trump. So Donald Trump is that back.
Amazing, huh? Amazing how that in contrast to what he says.
In that moment, I wasn't looking to the past. I was looking to the future. I spoke of the work at hand, the moment we had to meet. It was, as I told you then,
As
a
I told
winter
you.
of peril and possibility. Of peril and possibility. We're in the grip of a once-in-a-century pandemic, historic joblessness, a call for racial justice long overdue.
Wait, you mean racial justice that was long overdue? Huh. Really? Racial justice that was long overdue. Hey, I'm not even going to bother bringing up the riots that they had during Obama's administration, which would have been Obama-Biden administration, about all of that went down. That Biden caused in the last 3 years. The left Democrats are what they claim to hate and stand against. Yes.
Clear and present threats to our very democracy. Thank you. And yet,
They kept saying, we love Trump, we love Trump. What?
yet I believe then, and I believe now, that progress was and is possible. Justice is achievable, and our best days are not behind us, they're before us. Now it's summer. The winter has passed. And with a grateful heart, I stand before you now on this August night to report that democracy has prevailed.
I hope mob rule hasn't prevailed.
Democracy has delivered. And now democracy must be preserved. You've heard me say it before. We're facing an inflection point. One of those rare moments in history when the decisions we make now will determine the fate of our nation and the world for decades to come. That's not hyperbole, I mean it literally. We're in a battle for the very soul of America.
Well, the only thing is you've taken enough souls. I mean, how many souls did it take to fill up those coffers of Planned Parenthood? How many souls have you taken? I just want to point out the Democrats are the ones that started the KKK. They voted against all bills to free the slaves. They voted against black voting rights, voted for Jim Crow laws. Evil on day one. Yeah. But the Democrats don't know that. So they live in their own little world. It's okay.
I ran for president in 2020 because of what I saw in Charlottesville in August of 2017. Extremists coming out of the woods, carrying torches, their veins bulging from their necks, carrying Nazi swastikas, and chanting the same exact anti-Semitic bile. That was.
Wait, you mean the same thing that your current vice president has been doing? That she paid to get out? The Summer of Love was one of the most vile things that you've ever seen. There's protests that you've done that you did nothing about. Really?
Was heard in Germany in the early 30s.
What, like the Joy Division? Yeah. You heard about that because they're joyful. That was something that Kamala has been promoting. Yeah, we showed that yesterday. Or did I show that yesterday? Yeah. It's all about pulling the wool over your eyes. That's what Joe is doing. They started the Civil War.
Neo-Nazis, white supremacists, the Ku Klux Klan. So.
Wait, really? That you mean like Larry Bird that you gave a big speech to? Sheila Jackson Lee calling for violence against conservatives? Oh, I got that one too. You want to see that? Yeah, I have that also. I have that one saved if they haven't removed it, because they do like to remove things from and change history. It is a constant changing history of what is truly being said. And see, these are the kinds of things that drink through joy. That is something that they used to appease the trade unions, and this is something that Kamala has promoted: strength through joy. Yeah, those were just some of the things that have been brought up. Some of the lies that are being told to you. And how you doing, brother?
Ruh-roh!
Ruh-roh. Yeah.
Democrats are up on the podium, and here comes Ballstorm.
Yay! Oh my God! Let me see if I can pull this thing up from Sheila. From Sheila, where is it? Because somebody was saying, "Hey, did you see that thing that Sheila Jackson had to say?" Yeah, I remember
sure it
what
was
Sheila.
full of intelligence, whatever it was she said.
It usually is, isn't it? She's the smartest, most available person, out there that, whenever she got beat. Whenever she got beat. Yeah. Where did it go? Because it is here. Oh, I think they deleted it. Yeah, that post got removed.
Of course it did.
Yeah. I've seen that happen multiple times. Let me see. Let me see. Where is it? What was it that she was complaining about?
Oh no. Isn't this the same Sheila Jackson Lee that when during the Trump years was saying if you see anybody in a restaurant that supports Trump to run them out of the restaurant?
No, that was somebody. Oh yeah, here we go.
No, it was her.
This is Sheila Jackson Lee right here. She's now deceased. I was thinking of somebody else.
Yeah.
Here in Georgia that lost.
Oh, I know who you're thinking.
Yeah.
The woman that ran against Brian Kemp.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've heard the word full moon. And sometimes you need to take the opportunity just to come out and see a full moon is that complete rounded circle, which is made up mostly of gases. And that's why the question is why or how could we as humans live on the moon? Are the gases such that we could do that? The sun is a mighty powerful heat.
I'm like, who wrote this speech, Kamala? It sounds exactly like something she would say.
Yes. Oh, what was that chick's name again? They got beat by Kemp. God.
Well, it just goes to show how important she was. I can't even remember her name.
All right, let me put it in here. Oh, God, what was it? What was the one that beat her? It was just recently that she got beat.
Yeah.
God, what was her name? Oh, it was Stacey Abrams.
Yes, that's her.
Yeah, Stacey Abrams had a lot to say.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Abrams, where is it? I'm pretty sure that it's here. God, it was she had some horrible crap to say whenever she got beat.
The first time or the second time?
Just recently. Recently.
Okay.
Yeah, it was something just recent. Well, I'll find it here. Oh, sorry.
So emboldened by a president then in the White House.
I thought that was
they
him.
saw as an ally.
What was that?
I thought that was him.
Her teeth are so apart, she flosses with a mattress.
Oh, God.
No, it's a burrito. Mattresses don't taste good. The only one that knows about biting a mattress is AOC.
Facts.
They didn't even bother to wear their hoods.
Oh. What? Oh, so yeah, this is a trope that they've been running. And someone made a very fine point. Because they said, oh, these people, these KKK members that were supporting Trump didn't even wear their hoods. Well, I didn't see anybody wearing hoods during Biden's presidency at all either.
Yeah, what be a good Democrat and wear your hood like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
The Ku Klux Klan, so emboldened by a president then in the White House that they saw as an ally. They didn't even bother to wear their hoods.
Oh, yeah. See? There you go.
The lie continues.
You notice you didn't see anybody wearing hoods the whole time that Biden was president. Really weird, huh?
Yeah. Well, his best friend, who was a Graham Wizard, he had passed away. So
yeah, Larry Bird.
Sentimental attachment. Robert Bird.
Robert
Bird's
Bird,
a
yeah.
basketball player.
Yeah, Larry Bird's a basketball player. Not to be confused.
Hate was on the march in America. Old ghosts and new garments. Stirring up the oldest divisions. Stoking the oldest fears.
That you've been doing for the past 4 years. What have the KK have to do with all of this now? Because this man right here, has little horns. So angry.
I'll tell you what, they got him on the good cocktail last night, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they did.
Giving oxygen to the oldest forces that they long sought to tear apart America. In the process, a young woman was killed.
He loses it quick.
I contacted her mother, asked about what happened. She told me.
So he's saying that the KKK killed a woman?
It's the first I've heard of this.
I mean, are we talking about the woman that was shot by a black man in the Capitol? Is that what he's talking about? I mean, are we talking about
Joe, who knows?
Are we talking about the young lady that was killed by an illegal immigrant that you wouldn't deport in Georgia? Are we talking about the Asian woman that was beat to where she can't function anymore as a normal human being, that has been paralyzed from the waist down?
See, Shizzy, now
by
you're
an
just
illegal.
being a bigot. You're just being a
Oh,
bigot.
that's true.
Stop it.
That's true. I'm good at being a bigot, I guess.
When the president was asked what he thought had happened, Donald Trump said, and I quote, "There are very fine people on both sides."
That's
not
the full
true.
Context. So
That's yeah.
No. Factually, did Trump make that statement? Yes. But what you've done is you've lied by omission, because he vehemently put down the members of the Klan that were there. So you got to play it. It's kind of like with what happened on the 6th of the starting of the year back in 2020, where Trump had made a statement and they took it completely out of context and used it against him and anybody that decided to go tour the Capitol that day.
Here we have the whole thing. What did he say again?
And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And you had...
But Shizzy, that takes that statement completely a different direction.
Doesn't it, though? Doesn't it just change what was being said to what actually he said?
Yeah.
And this is a common thing that the Democrats keep throwing out there, saying, "Hey, you know, this is what he said," but no, it's the same lie that is shown time and time again.
Well, when you're a party that's based upon rhetoric and not policy, that's all you have to work with.
Yes, that is true, because so far we've heard no policy that she's going to run.
God. That's what he said. That is what he said and what he meant. That's what I realized.
No, that's not. That's not what he said. That's not what he meant.
I had to listen to the admonition of my dead son. I could not stay on the sidelines. So I ran.
That ain't why you ran.
No.
That ain't why you ran. Don't lie. You ran because they made you run.
Yep.
Because they wanted what was supposed to be a moderate up there, and plus due to the fact that you had the ties.
You went through a bad.
Everybody's so beloved.
Uh-huh.
Oh, am I here? Am I good now?
That's oh no, this is not what I was thinking of. This right here is what I was thinking of. Let me show this to you. This is, and this happened just recently. This just happened just recently. It was Ilhan Omar.
Because the time demanded it. A time when racism and white supremacy threatens our very existence. You know I will not bow down.
So whenever she made this speech, what they don't tell you is the person that she was running against was Don Samuels. Don Samuels is a black man. Don Samuels is a black man. And so she was talking about how,
yes,
I guess her brother or something like that used to have like sex with her.
Yeah.
I mean, cohabitating, I guess. I mean, I guess you do that with your brother, but the way that she was cohabitating was
only in Alabama.
Well, she was in Minnesota, which now they've gotten rid of the Minnesota state flag, or is it? Yeah, it's Minnesota. They got rid of the Minnesota state flag.
Yeah.
They replaced it.
Yeah, they took the seal of the state of Minnesota off and replaced it with a star that looks very similar to the Somali flag.
Yeah, very, very, very similar. Very similar. I keep hearing these kinds of same tropes that they're making, and it's constant. It just doesn't stop.
No.
The lies that are being thrown out there. Where is the one with, because I saw this the other day. I wanted to see if they still had it up. Let me see. It was, where is it? Let's see if we've got yeah, here it is. Here it is. This is something you guys should remember here. Let me pull this thing up, because this was it's about 1 minute and 14 seconds.
Bernie Sanders, thank you so much for joining us today.
Great to be with you, Theo.
I really appreciate it. Whenever you started in politics, I'm sure that there was like a real idea of like one person can really affect change, right? Do you think that that's still possible today with like a lot of the lobbies and stuff that they have that goes on?
Well, I think, you know, one of the points I think everybody knows is you have a government dominated by big money interests, right? That's no great secret. So you have these billionaires now and their super PACs. You're a billionaire, you can contribute hundreds of millions of dollars to elect people, to feed people. If you're a large corporation or you represent the pharmaceutical industry, you know how many lobbyists there are in Washington, D.C. representing the big drug companies? Take a wild and crazy guess.
2,000.
You got it. That's a pretty good guess. About 1,800.
Wow.
So there are 100 members of the Senate and 435 members of the House. Well-paid former leaders of the Democratic Party, leaders of the Republican Party. They're there to say, hey, Congress, do everything you can to make sure we make as much money as possible, and who gives a damn whether people can afford the prescription drugs they need. So that's power.
So you have a whole other drug government almost going on.
Absolutely.
That's even bigger than our own government, numbers-wise.
Well, not big. That's we can define what we mean by bigger, but
that's fair.
But there is more, because this sit down that he had with this guy, which they've already removed. Yeah, that one got removed. His sit down, he says that he was removed off of the ticket. He was asked to be removed off the ticket, and that's since been removed. It's with that interview with that same guy.
Well, first of all, Theo Vaughn is great. He said all of his interviews are kind of the same format as Rogan, but he does a great job. I mean, to look at him and hear him, you'd think he's just some redneck, but he's actually quite intelligent. Yeah, it's awful funny. Sanders bringing up the pharmaceutical lobby.
Yeah, here it is. Theo Vaughn.
Yes. Unbelievable. Like people can't, people, they go in, they don't even know the cost. They sign an agreement that they're going to be billed later, right? It's like, and then they get the bill and it's astronomical and they spend the rest of $400. You're like, transparency bill. And is it passed yet or no?
No, it has not. I'm working. Here, Theo, this is what we're going to do for you, blah, 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 blah.
Prices or they don't?
We still haven't passed that bill.
Okay. The energy for their own family. It just.
You're absolutely.
That's not the one I'm looking for. Hold on. I'll find it, because he talked about the cancer treatment, talked about a bunch of other stuff. Damn it. So that interview with Theo Vaughn and Bernie Sanders, I'm gonna have to find that, because that one is just unbelievable. Where he asked Bernie, and Bernie says, "Yeah, I was asked to step down. I was asked to step down to make room for Joe Biden." He didn't even argue it. He was just like, yeah.
Well, that's twice he's been asked to step down.
Yeah.
He was asked to step down against Hillary.
Yep.
And then he was asked to step down against Biden because they wanted a moderate candidate to go up against Trump in 2020.
Yep.
Because I had no intention of running again. I just lost part of my soul. But I ran with a deep conviction. In America, I know and believe.
He's reading a teleprompter.
Yeah,
in America, where honesty, dignity, decency still matter. In America, where everyone has a fair shot and hate has no safe harbor.
But you've been promoting hate since before Obama. Whenever you were just a junior senator, that's all you promoted. You did not want to have people of that color in your neighborhood. He had lots of things to say about the jungles.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, he was he felt that because of his party that he had permission to just be able to say whatever he wanted to.
Pretty much. You remember he's the one that went after Clarence Thomas. The hardest. Yeah. And had to, they had to mention that, it was a black man married to a white woman. Yeah, that was something that's something that's not allowed in the Democrat Party at that point in time. Democrat Party looked down on interracial marriages.
Well, they've always had the belief of well, you need to get in line because we're the Democrats.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't. He had a different word for what people say, colored people. He had a different word for that.
He
Wow.
had no trouble using it.
No trouble at all.
In America, where the fundamental creed of this nation, that all of us are created equal, is still very much alive. And a broad coalition of Americans joined with me. 81 million voters voted for us.
Really? Really?
Show me proof.
Yeah. Yeah. Show me the votes. Show me the votes. That's right. They won't show those that were here in Georgia. They won't show you those votes.
Well, no.
Well, you know, and I played it yesterday. I said, you know, here's Brian Kemp whenever he's taught. I was actually Ross, whatever his name is, Ross Finger.
Yeah.
That was sitting there going, yeah. I mean, with only 2% left of the vote coming in, we pretty much know who's going to win this.
Yep.
And that was early on. Really early on.
Yeah.
But of course we're led to believe and told that this is what happened. I'll have to pull it up because it's pretty interesting that the lies that come out with these people is unfreaking believable. Where is it? I wanted to see if it was here.
Well, it was something to the fact of, what was it? They were like, the only votes we're waiting to come in are from Atlanta, and the chances of Trump getting unseated were very unlikely. And then lo and behold,
yeah,
he lost.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Yeah.
How did that just all of a sudden come popping up and appear that these are the same lies that they will tell you over and over and over and over again? I'll pull it up later.
More than any time in all of history. Because of all of you in this room and others, we came together in 2020 to save democracy. As your president, I've been determined to keep America moving forward, not going back, to stand against hate and violence in all its forms, to be a nation where we not only live with but thrive on diversity, demonizing no one, leaving no one behind, and becoming a nation that we profess to be. I also ran to rebuild the backbone of America, the middle class. I made a commitment to you that I'll be a president for all Americans, whether you voted for me or not. We have done that. Studies show the major bills we have passed actually delivered more to red states than blue, because the job of the president is to deliver to all of America.
After you got rid of how many jobs? How many jobs did you destroy? If you're thinking that you're better off, 3.5 years ago, whenever they came into power, if you think that you're better off now than you were 3.5 years ago, then keep voting the same way that you're voting. That's what I say. Just, hey, works for me.
Because of you.
Heidi brings up a good point. We are not a democracy, we're a republic. And keep this in mind. Every time you see the word democracy or hear someone talk about democracy is mob rule.
Yes.
And that is exactly what the founders knew would happen if we were a straight democracy, which is why we are a republic.
Yes. And they're trying. They are trying. Biden decency as he was banging the babysitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry, she still gets his heart going.
And I'm not exaggerating. Because of you, We've had one of the most extraordinary 4 years of progress ever. Period.
No, and no. It's in spite of you that we've done as much as we possibly can, in spite of the policies that you've put out there. In spite of all the crap that they've pulled, we have tried to make it through for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
In spite of.
Period. When I say we, I mean Kamala and me.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we know what you know Camel Toe and you have done. Yeah, it's very obvious what Camel Toe and you have done. Very, very obvious what has happened because of you and Camel Toe. Right here. Since Camel Toe took office, 51% increase in gasoline, electricity, 32%, airfare, 23%, groceries, 22%. Real average weekly wages prices are up 20.2%. Real average weekly wages are down 3.9%. Rent is 22%. Eggs are 40% higher. Fire insurance is 54% higher. K through 12 food is 66% higher. That's what we've come to. So any move,
I guarantee you that grocery, you know, where they're saying it's only 20% higher or whatever, that's complete and total BS.
Yeah.
It's way higher.
Yes. Yeah, that's only my opinion.
Everybody wants to fool you and say, you know, oh, I'm so smart and I can give you this statistical data. No, here on the street with regular people, we see it. We know how much it is.
Yes. I'm the one that buys groceries every day.
I buy groceries. I buy gas.
I'm the one that goes to the grocery stores and goes, you know what? A pound of chicken per pound costs the same amount as a pound of beef. Like I can buy a pound of beef, like good quality beef.
Yep.
For the same price that I can buy chicken wings for. Chicken wings would cost me $5.99 a pound. I can buy a pound of beef for $5.99 a pound. You know, whenever I'm buying some of the low grade meat, I'm still spending $20 on less than a pound, or a little over a pound.
Yeah.
You know, 10, $11 for a little bit over a pound, and I'm just like, holy crap! Tagged you on next. The certification post. Thanks.
Yeah, Diva and I had this discussion the other day. We were like, okay, we make a decent amount of money. Where the hell is all of our money going? Because used to, you know, we could put stuff back and save, and now we can't. Because the price of everything has gone up.
Yeah. Yes. And it will continue to grow. It'll continue to grow. If we go through another 4 years, you think your gas prices went up the first year? Oh. They're tapping the oil reserves and shutting those places down that they have them.
Yeah. Why do you think gas is conveniently lower right now?
Why? Because it's fake. It's fake. Oh, thank you. Yeah, here's what Captain Kern sent out here.
Somewhere along the line, and I am sorry, I can't remember exactly when it was, but I had asked the question, well, okay, well, you know, what did we do for signature verification? And the comment I got back was, which frankly at that time floored me, was, well, you know, we didn't do any. And I remember I forget where I was, you know, I was on a phone call, I forget exactly, and I apologize, it's been so long. But, you know, I do remember that comment that, you know, we didn't do any. Now, Of course, I took that saying, all right, well, by law, you've got to do signature verification. You've got to at least have somebody looking at this. And one side of that is that whomever you have that is looking at and supposed to be, verifying signature, that if there is no signature on the oath envelope, then how are you curing it, or what are you doing with it?
Yeah, that was that was exactly what they were doing. That's how they were doing their recount.
Yeah.
COVID no longer controls our lives. We got from
It
an economic
hasn't,
crisis to the strongest economy in the
because
entire world.
in spite of you.
Record 60 million new jobs.
Yeah.
Record small business growth. Record high stock market. Record high 401ks. Wages up. Inflation down, way down, and continuing to go down. The smallest racial wealth gap in 20 years. And yes, we both know we have more to do, but we're moving in the right direction. More Americans have peace of mind that comes from having health insurance. More Americans have health insurance today than ever before in American history.
How about choice?
And after,
Yeah.
as a young senator beginning to fight for 50 years to give Medicare the power to negotiate low prescription drug prices, we finally beat Big Pharma.
I just look at this and I hear "Durr," which is a lie, because you turned around and signed off on removing every move that Trump made to help, to cut costs, to cut what the pharmaceutical companies were charging, just to turn around and rewrite it again, the same exact policies that Trump had in place. The same exact policies, and then take credit for it. Here's the one I was looking for. Here's the one I was looking for right here.
Biden had high hopes late in the game of flipping in this election, but we shall see. Is Georgia, and that state's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger is with us now. Mr. Secretary, good morning on a busy morning. I guess the big question is, Hoda?
Yeah, we want to know, when are we going to get your votes? When are we going to find out who's won your state?
Well, we have about 2% left to go. We had great success yesterday. We had 4.7 million voters that voted. Record breaker for us, beats the 4.1 in 2016. We also had average wait time of only 2 minutes, statewide average. We have about 2% left to go. And you can see where we are right now with the results that have been reported. I don't think it'll change any of the outcomes, but that's what really people that make those predictions do. What we'll do is get...
Well, that was interesting, though. We were just getting to the good part there, because the Secretary of State said they got 2% left to count, Chuck, but he did not think it would change the outcome.
That's interesting.
Yeah, wild, huh? How that happened? How that happened? The 2% left to go, and
But then he deferred to the prognosticators, which I think is over to you.
Look, I can just tell you what our models say, and it's where those counties are. They are heavily Democratic counties, and it's the Atlanta numbers. So it is going to shrink. Perhaps, if I were an arbiter of an election result, I wouldn't want to be the one saying yes. And when we count the vote, it'll change the result. I think his job is to be the umpire.
Well, let's ask Mr. Secretary. Can you hear me now? You just were saying something.
I'm getting phone bombed or something.
Oh, okay. Well, fair. You're a busy guy. You're probably all your friends wanting to know the same thing we want to know, which is, when is Georgia going to report its results? But you said something interesting, sir. You said 2% left to count. You didn't think, however, that it would be changing the outcome. Right. Is that based on your analysis of where those votes are outstanding, or are you just guessing it because of the fact that it's only 2%?
We don't guess. What we do is report. We just see where the candidates are right now in both presidential,
92% of those votes were in.
Congressional, senatorial. And you look at how many votes are out there. Even if one of the candidates got 100%, it probably wouldn't be enough to move it one way or the other.
Right there is exactly why everyone was questioning why $400 a week for 2 people. That's what I used to pay when all 3 kids were home with you. Exactly. Yeah. price of everything has gone up, and Rosalind knows because she buys the groceries also. You know. Yeah, we're told the lie constantly, and AP will, and all of the news stations will constantly say, well, Kamala looks great. Everything that she's doing is great. They're so neck and neck right now. How many of you people, let's hear ones in the chat for everyone that thinks that they're neck and neck. Twos for that you're being lied to about who's actually in the lead here.
Karma. And guess who cast the tie-breaking vote? Vice President, soon-to-be President Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
The one that cast the tie-breaking vote to enforce paying tax on tips.
Yep. That's who did it. And now she's saying, I'm going to change everything in my first as soon as I'm elected president, I'm going to make America better.
You can do that now.
Why not? Why haven't they? You have 78 days to get shit straightened out. Hell, you've had 3.5 years to get shit straightened out and you haven't fixed it.
You know, she sits there and talks about, you know, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do this. I'm like, you can do that now.
Why haven't you? Why haven't you done this? 3.5 years, why haven't you fixed the issues at the border? 3.5 years, why haven't you fixed the economy? 3.5 years, why haven't you done any of the things that you're promising you're going to do and yet have not done?
And one of my favorite parts is where Biden takes credit for all these jobs. You can't take credit for jobs coming back.
Nope.
You can only take credit for new jobs.
Yes.
You can't take credit for the jobs that were lost during the vid and then came back.
Yep.
Now it's the law of the land. Instead of paying $400 a month for insulin, seniors with diabetes will pay $35 a month.
But only for seniors. What about my good friend down the street that her son's diabetic? And he was born that way. I mean, he's got diabetes. He's actually interning as a doctor, right? But yeah, he has to pay a lot of money for his insulin.
He's probably type 1 then.
Yeah. Yeah, what about him? He still has to pay out the wazoo for insulin. And Trump, if I'm not mistaken, got it down to, I think it was something like $10. Could be wrong on that.
The law we passed already includes it starting in January.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear about that, Squid. Hey, you know, if you need someone to talk to, reach out, talk. It's I understand that's a pretty rough thing. You know, thoughts and prayers for you, really Squid. And hopefully you know, you guys get this all sorted out, because that's a rough thing. So you know, thoughts and prayers for you.
Yeah, that's more important than this stuff. We're just being silly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is definitely much more important. You know, you just give them all the support that you can to your pops there, really. Yeah, my wife and I went through this just not too long ago whenever she lost her pop. So it is tough, but you'll get through this, and your dad will get through this. Just you know, like I said, you've got a lot of people backing you there. So, you know, take as much time as you need. Really.
Every senior's total prescription cost can be capped at $2,000 no matter how expensive the drugs they have. And what we don't focus on, and our Republican friends don't seem to understand, our reforms don't just save seniors money, they save the American taxpayers money. You know what we just passed saved? It saved $160 billion over the next decade.
No, you took $160 billion and you sent it to Ukraine.
Yeah, you didn't save the
Okay.
American people a damn thing.
You sent $160 billion to Ukraine. Tell me how that saved any money whatsoever. Tell me how that saved any money whatsoever. It amazes me. It amazes me that we're being, they keep telling these things. Like this is fine. This is fine. We're okay. It is amazing to me that we're told that we have to believe this because, well, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing to save everybody.
Well, and here's the problem, and this goes for the left and the right. They propose these ideas that don't come to fruition till long after they're out of office.
Yeah.
People need to see results now. They're not waiting 10 years into the future.
Nope.
And it never lasts anyway, because the government always finds a way to spend whatever excess that they have. So more BS.
Yeah. That's absolutely correct. The Russians have shown the world the proof that Ukraine is a country of Yahtzees being gaslit.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not hyperbole. It's because Medicare no longer has to pay those exorbitant prices to the big pharma.
Which you got rid of because of Obamacare.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Kamala, too. Look.
It almost said commie too. That's what it said. I saw that. Well, let's see that again.
To the big pharma. Oh, look. Thank you, Kamala, too.
They cut it off right there. It's like, thank you, commie too.
Look.
Thank you, Kamala, too. Good. I want you to praise Kamala and say how big of a part of your administration she has been.
Yes.
That's exactly what I want.
Oh yeah.
Folks, how can we have the strongest economy in the world without the best infrastructure in the world? Donald Trump promised Infrastructure Week every week.
Pretty
for 4
easily.
years.
Yeah. Well, and
if you don't have so much government infrastructure, then there's more money available.
let me look this up. So here's the thing, because he's going to mention something here that happened, and because I was like, okay, I've never heard of this particular thing, and I just want to show it to you guys here. Lordstown Assembly, because he's about to mention this. It was an industrial suburb of Youngstown, Ohio. It was a General Motors automobile factory until 2019. Okay. So they had a strike in 72. Later years, the collapse of the steel industry. In 2016, GM announced the end of third shift by January 17, affecting 1,200 workers. On April 13th, 2018, GM announced the second shift would be cut, eliminating up to 1,500 jobs. The cuts were related to declining sales of the Cruze and compact cars in general, in favor of SUVs and crossovers. Both of those related to the Cruze and getting similar gas mileage. GM announced it would build the new Chevrolet Blazer, and also they were going to build Ramos Air Stripe assembly in Mexico. On that same day, Lordstown's second shift ended as they moved it to Mexico. Closure. Subsequently, in the last day of production was March 19th, 2019. Subsequently, the plant was transitioned to idled state. The final built at Lordstown, while 2019 Chevy Cruze LS remained in the area and was delivered to a local dealership after making arrangements with GM to keep the vehicle in the area after a local GM customer requested. The dealer made the vehicle swap with a dealer in Miami that was originally scheduled to receive the vehicle and was already sold before it left the plant.
Yeah.
So whenever they talk about this has to do with Representative Tim Ryan. Consider the closing the generation's black money. So they had the Foxconn which later purchased the plant. And as part of Foxconn, it also oversees the production of the Endurance pickup truck. So they closed it in 2019 in spite of, because their production, they moved it to Mexico. And that right there would have been the UAW that caused that. They caused it because the cost was much greater. Demand was not out there for it. Lordstown Endurance. And that's what they're building now. It's a full-size battery electric pickup truck with a wheel hub motor manufactured by Lordstown Motors in collaboration with Foxtown at its Ohio factory. September 2022, with plans to manufacture no more than 500 vehicles through June of 2023. It's the company's first production automobile. So he's going to mention about Lordstown getting shut down. They're going to blame Trump because he wanted to keep manufacturing in the United States. But GM decided to take it to Mexico. And I had to share that because that's something that he's going to be mentioned about right here shortly.
And he never built a damn thing.
Actually, Trump has built a hell of a lot in the United States. He's built more than all of the Democrats and Republicans combined in the House and the Senate for the past 40 years.
He was a developer and a builder.
Yes.
He did real estate.
Yes.
But okay.
But he has never built anything.
But now, because of Kamala, I've done. Remember, we were told we couldn't get it done. Remember when we came in office, we couldn't get anything passed?
No. You didn't pass anything. You got rid of every single thing that Trump had done because you were very salty about losing in 2016 because you wanted to start a freaking war. You've got a war started over in Europe. You've got another war started in the Middle East. You pulled troops out of Afghanistan and lost 13 fine soldiers. That is your legacy. That is what you and Kamala. Oh yeah, I've seen. You should see the videos of them flying helicopters down the street, driving tanks. Yeah,
I bet that's hilarious, though.
it is. It's not, but it's fucked up.
It's not, but it is.
Yeah.
But right now, we're giving America an infrastructure decade, not week. We're modernizing our roads, our bridges, our ports, our airports, our trains, our buses. Removing every lead pipe from schools and homes, so every child.
Really? How are you doing that? Tell me how that water supply is in Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me how things are going at where a train flipped over and derailed and poisoned the soil.
Oh, we've forgotten about that.
Oh, Palestine. Yeah. We've forgotten about Palestine. Sorry, I can't help it. I'm just a young child. I can't help it. Sorry.
How can drink clean water? We're providing affordable high-speed internet for every American.
High-speed internet for every American. Do you think I give two shits about high-speed internet whenever my food prices and gas prices are through the roof.
Well, and here's the thing about that. The market and the competition was going to breed that anyway. Had nothing to do with the government.
Exactly. They do it in spite of.
No matter where they live, not unlike what Roosevelt did with electricity. And
what?
Well, I'm trying to think. What did Roosevelt? Now I'm curious. What did Roosevelt do with electricity? Here it is. On May 11th, 1935, Roosevelt signed an executive order number 7037 establishing the Rural Electrification Administration, REA. It was not until a year later with the Rural Electrification Act was passed and the lending program that became the REA got underway.
So you're saying Congress passed something to enact electricity in rural areas?
Yes. He signed a bill creating the TVA in 1933. Of course, the TVA was more than a power company. Let's see. I don't care. It was some ads. The initial chaos abated. Larger companies bought up smaller power companies in the first decade of the 20th century by university rights. By 1930, 10 large holding companies, which are headed by multimillionaires like Rockefeller, J.P. Morgan, Samuel Insull, owned 75% of the electric industry. The grid was so big and complicated, state regulation was impossible, but things were coming to a head despite massive advertising campaigns by the private power industry condemning public ownership as socialistic. Public opinion had begun to shift towards a negative view of the big holding companies. Here, I'll show you what I'm reading right here. Roosevelt envisioned another way. Of course, the TVA was more than a power company. It was created during the Depression. Glass writes, the Tennessee Valley was in a bad way. The TVA would need to address more than electricity. It was created to provide flood control, assist with agriculture. Roosevelt signed the act that created the TVA. Malaria remained rampant in some 30% of the population. Household incomes averaged $640 a year. Much of the land had been farmed so hard for so long, which eroded and depleted the soil. The TVA generated electricity, attracted industries, which turn created jobs. Light modern appliances made life easier and farms more productive. So that's the Tennessee Valley right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. 30 power companies operating within one city. So what he did is he turned it into a monopoly.
Right.
That's what Roosevelt did. Roosevelt turned it into a monopoly. Yeah. Oh, the G-Wagon. I kind of wish that. Oh, okay. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I guess G-spots or something like that.
so much more. We are uniting the country. We're growing our economy. We're improving our quality of life. And we're building a better America.
No,
Where?
You haven't done that for 3.5 years.
Because that's who we are. How can we be the strongest nation in the world without leading the world in science and technology? After years of importing 90% of our semiconductor chips from abroad, which America invented those chips.
Okay.
Our Chips and Science Act meant that private companies from around the world.
You have to remember that Japan was leading in chip manufacturing for the longest time. But
are now investing literally tens of billions of dollars to build new chip factories right here in America.
So tens of billions of dollars to build new chip factories here in America. And you know what one of those companies is? And take a wild guess. Take a wild guess who one of those companies is. They're building them right here in America. Intel. Yeah, Intel is somebody that just laid off 1,500 people.
Well,
1,500 people.
And you know why that they've been promoting having them built in America, because where do they normally get it from? Taiwan.
They still do. Taiwan still has the largest manufacturers. It produces 92% of the chips manufactured in the world.
Mm-hmm. And what has been a point of contention for many years and will be for many years to come, China and Taiwan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what are we on the verge of going on? Why we're moving ships in that area? Why are we moving ships in that area again? Oh, you don't want to talk about that. Why was Nancy Pelosi taking a trip to Taiwan? Her and her son.
Isn't that odd that the Speaker of the House would go to Taiwan?
To set up business.
Yeah.
Her son's business.
Yeah.
Her son's business, which, if I'm not mistaken, they just signed a deal where they've moved some chip manufacturing into Arizona. They're building the plants in Arizona. They're building the plants in North Carolina. But guess who owns the rights to those companies? Taiwan.
Yeah.
Weird, huh?
Mm.
There was a huge chip demand during the year of shame because people were getting home entertainment boosted. No, that's not why there was a huge demand for chips. It had nothing to do with home entertainment. Those chips that they were producing were part of that, but those chips that they were producing had a lot to do with the supply being low, because companies like Nvidia were using those chips to build for Bitcoin mining operations. Okay, if you've never seen a Bitcoin farm, we're talking about entire buildings with microprocessors to mine Bitcoin. Okay?
Well, not to mention,
and then the auto manufacturers.
Yes.
Okay. And the reason I know this is because I left Honda right before COVID hit. Like, we're talking the month prior, I left Honda, and I went back about a year later, just, because I'm still friends with everybody that worked with there. I went in and their parking lot was empty. They had 3 cars on the lot. They had back orders out the wazoo. And I said, what in the hell is going on? Like, what happened to your inventory? He said, well, we've sold everything. And we're not getting any more because we can't get any chips.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, so you're not getting any chips. So this is in 2021. I show back up and it's like, yeah, we're not getting any chips. He said, and on top of that, any vehicles that we have, the because I think it was like the what do you call it, the Pilot.
Yeah.
The Pilot was one of their bigger sellers. I mean, they had at least 90 cars that were Pilots. They said the problem is the cars we do have, people can't afford, because the Pilot, which was normally about 80,000, I think is what they were charging for a fully loaded Pilot. Jeez. He goes, it's 120,000 right now.
Yeah.
Like, the dealers have marked up the prices on every single one of their vehicles to these astronomical amounts that cost more than a house. Yeah, that right there. Yeah, fighter jets use chips. Just about everything is using chips. And there's and if you don't know, we still have a shortage. A massive shortage of chips.
If you want to buy a new car, I don't care what manufacturer it is in the US, you're having to wait months before you're able to get that car. It's what happened at White Rabbit. She had she had bought a new car and had to wait months before it was available.
I know. She would have been better off buying a Type R for the cost that she paid for it.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah.
And over that period, they'll create tens of thousands of jobs.
Not enough jobs. They won't create, the chip manufacturers can't create enough jobs. They don't create that many jobs as much as you think, because most of that'll be automated. Because it is cheaper for you to pay for a robot that to put those chips together than it is to pay a human to do it.
And it's more precise.
Exactly.
And many of those jobs in the so-called fabs, the buildings that make the chips, are being constructed now. And guess what? The average salary in those fabs, size of a football field, will be over $100,000 a year, and you don't.
Yeah. How many of those jobs are going to be $100,000 a year?
None.
How many of those are do you think are going to be $100,000 a year? The guys that are overseeing it, the employees, they'll be lucky if they're making $15 an hour.
Right.
And then they will not want them to work overtime because they don't want to pay the overtime.
Right.
They don't want to pay time and a half. Through that.
Need a college degree.
Yeah, you do. To make over $100,000 a year in one of those plants, you have to have a college degree.
Yes, you do.
You're not going to get a job in a chip manufacturing plant that's going to pay $100,000 without some sort of degree, usually in math or science. And they've already told you that you have to trust the science, which they don't understand what a woman is. Yeah, lucky if they get $35,000 a year. That is correct.
Yep.
Because of you and so many electeds out there, American manufacturing is back. Where the hell to say we wouldn't lead the world in manufacturing? 800,000 new manufacturing jobs.
No, they're not. This is a pipe dream. This is what they want. Yeah, Aaron Olivia is correct. You cannot get any job at 10K without a degree. Well,
no.
Or 100K without a degree. And here's the thing. Come on, I want to say it.
Our Republican friends and others made sure they'd go abroad to get the cheapest labor. We used to import products and export jobs. Now we export American products and create American jobs.
Not true.
Not the 3.5 years you've been in office.
Well, and before Trump came into office, they still had NAFTA, which was basically screwing the United States manufacturing. Because it was cheaper, and this is why all those jobs were coming out of Mexico. All the work was being done in Mexico because it was cheaper. It was cheaper for you to have a company here in the United States and send your Ford truck to be manufactured and produced in Mexico and shipped back to the United States. It was cheaper to do that than have it built here in the United States. And that had been like that since what, the 80s? That had to change. You're wondering how you lost those jobs. Just look at who became president.
Right here in America, where jobs belong.
When Trump has already said he wants to put a tariff on these companies. And that tariff is going to go back so people have to pay less taxes, which if they have to pay less taxes, then they'll have more money to spend on the products that they want to overcharge for. 20% tariff. That's a lot.
With every new job, with every new factory, pride and hope is being brought back to communities throughout the country that were left behind. You know.
Yeah, if you're going to pay $400 a week for food, you're going to have to be making a hell of a lot of money.
Oh, you're from it, many of you. You know what it's like when that factory closed, where your mother, your father, your grandmother, grandfather worked. And now you're back, providing once again, proving that Wall Street didn't build America, the middle class built America, and unions built the middle class.
No, the unions rape the middle
He's
class.
been using that line for years.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has. If you don't know how unions operate in the United States, well, they make a lot of money so they can pay him. That's why he likes unions so much. This is why both Democrats and Republicans like unions. It's because those unions donate to their political fund. That's what they like.
Yep.
See, all the union supporters out there. It's, you know, and you know, Nick Starro is a union representative lawyer in a socialist country. so it's a little bit different in those countries than it is here in the United States. Because the way that they're set up here in the United States is it behooves them to be productive. Because if one person is more productive than another, that makes the unproductive workers look bad. And then it becomes expected that you're going to bust your ass and do really well.
It's been my view since I came to the Senate. And that's why I'm proud that I've been the first president to walk a picket line and be labeled the most pro-union president in history, and I accept it.
To walk a picket line? How about step across the picket line to be called a scab? My uncle did that for a while. My uncle as a machinist, a very skilled machinist. Let's put it this way: his qualification led all the way up to the point where he could work on nuclear submarines. Okay. He never took the nuclear test to allow him to weld on a nuclear submarine. Okay. He got all the way to that point, and they said, "Do you have this certification?" He was like, "Nope." They said, "Well, you can't work on this ship. It is a nuclear submarine."
Yeah.
So that's how qualified my uncle was. And you know what my uncle did whenever they shut down plants for welding? Whenever unions shut them down, my uncle would show up, not my grandfather, but my uncle would show up at those manufacturing plants, walk across the picket line, and get paid better than union wages. And he'd get spit on, call him a scab, and he was just like, whatever, I got a family I'm feeding.
Yep.
And he never joined a union ever. And he is hardcore Republican or Democrat. So he never did. He was like, no. He goes, I'm here to make money. You guys don't want to step across, that's you. And then as soon as that the union would lift their strike, he'd walk out of there with a big fat paycheck.
Yeah, I had a family that used to work at Nashville. Used to have a big glass plant for Ford, and just like the majority of my mom's family all worked there, and they were all union and so on and so forth. So my uncle, who's the oldest, he was a hardcore Democrat until he got out, and then he was like, you know what? I feel like they're screwing us. And he switched at the end.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fact. Because when unions do well, we all do well.
That sounds like a threat to me. That sounds like a threat. That sounds like a threat. That's what that sounds like to me. That sounds like a threat.
You got it, man. You got it.
Yeah, USA, just like it should be shouted. This is something that they just see. The DNC has been copying the RNC drastically throughout this whole thing. throughout every single bit of the DNC, you are going to see them imitating everything that they possibly can that the RNC has already done.
Well, and you know why, don't you?
Yeah, because Trump is winning.
Well, they're also doing it because if they're able to somehow blur the lines between both parties on policy, conjecture, so on and so forth, then their attacks on his personality are more effective.
Right.
Despite the fact that the policies are completely different.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If you think they're going to enact any of these policies that they're talking about, oh no. The DNC will not enact any of these policies.
Nope.
They've shown you over the past 3.5 years what they're going to do. And it's all lip service.
I agree. I'm proud. Look, remember we told we couldn't get anything done because we couldn't get anything done in the Congress? Well, with your support, we passed the most significant climate law in the history of mankind.
What climate law did you pass? What climate law did you pass? What law changes the climate?
I'm curious about that.
Name me a law that passed it.
Over $370 billion. Cutting carbon emissions in half by 2030. Launching a climate corps, similar to AmeriCorps and Peace Corps, creating tens of thousands of jobs for young people in the future who are going to make sure this continues. Creating hundreds of thousands of jobs in clean energy for American workers, including the IBEW installing 500,000 charging stations all across America.
And what powers those charging stations?
Huh?
And what powers those charging stations?
Electricity.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. IBW. What is IBW? IBW. Ideal body weight? What? IBW chargers. Let me put that in. Oh, IBW EV charger guidance union electricians. Oh, okay. So let's see. Let me see what they've got. IBEW is what it is. So IBEW training is key as federal EV charger push identified. Huh. So IBEW is 75 to 80% of local 177 work. Local 177 runs a whole gamut of projects. Those projects include broadcasting, railroad, government, manufacturing, telecommunications, utilities. Huh. IBEW challenges U.S. locals to register 10,000 new EVITP certified electricians by August. That's 10,000 electricians that will need to be certified. Now, it doesn't mean that they'll be good. It just means that they're going to be charged. And here's the thing. I had to get a special certification to work on Hondas, like EVs and what do you call those, crossovers, hybrids? So I had to get special certification for that. It doesn't take much, because whenever you've got 50,000 volts and you drop a wrench on it, yeah, it'll explode. I've watched a 12 millimeter wrench get burned in half like a fuse. Okay, a 12 millimeter wrench heat up so hot that it busted apart like a fuse.
After all the horror stories you've told about those cars, I will never own an electric car.
Well, and they also have a cooling system on those. So there's a little fan that runs in there that cools those batteries down because they get extremely hot.
Right.
So if one of those fans fail, car will stop running. Like it'll shut down the car just like that. It's got safeguards in it. Yeah, wait until one of those things fails, and then the fail safes don't work. Yeah. Yeah, wait until you catch an EV car on fire. It's a total loss.
And you can't put it out.
No. Fire coffins. Mm-hmm.
Reducing carbon emissions. And we're seeing it. We're seeing to it that the first beneficiaries of environmental initiatives are those fence-line communities that have been smothered by the legacy of pollution. Louisiana and Delaware.
Really? Smothered by the legacy of pollution. Where does the pollution come from? Do you think it's coming from automobiles? Or do you think it's coming from those coal-powered plants? Because you remember that you know, he comes from coal country, right? Wasn't his father a coal miner, or his daughter, or something like that? You know, he knows all about coal. But whenever they started shutting those down, they started losing elections.
Yeah.
And they want to shut down the coal plants.
Well,
because they don't want to put up nuclear.
I also encourage people to do their own research and look at which countries put out the highest amount of pollution. It's not the US, and it's not even close.
Yep.
Delaware, Route 9. All the factories, all those chemical factories are right next to the poorest neighborhoods. They're the ones we're going to bring back.
What? You said you're going to bring back chemical factories next to the poorest neighborhoods? Why would you do that?
That's what he said.
Okay, I got to hear that again. Okay, so you want to bring back chemical factories next to the poorest neighborhoods? Didn't they do that in somewhere in Germany? I think they had chemical plants.
Louisiana and Delaware, Route 9. All the factories, all those chemical factories are right next to the poorest neighborhoods. They're the ones we're going to bring back.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And how? How can we be the greatest nation in the world without the best education system in the world?
Oh, your education system sucks?
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Donald Trump and the Republican friends, I not only can't think, they can't read very well.
Really? Well, whenever you write a 500-page bill, yeah, okay.
Well,
Seriously,
just because
think
he
about it.
doesn't use a teleprompter doesn't mean he can't read.
Exactly.
Look at their project 2025. They want to do away with the Department of Education. Well, during the pandemic.
No, that's not what he wants to do.
Oh, here we go with this crap again.
Yeah, that's not what Trump wants to do. He doesn't want to get rid of the Department of Education. He wants to get rid of the socialist ideas that you have of chopping off little kids' parts. I mean, let's put it this way. Democrat Party, if they can't kill you in the womb, they'll kill you the day after you get out of the womb, and they'll slap you in a little box whenever mama doesn't want to take care of you anymore. And if that doesn't work, then what they'll do is they will poison your mind by sending you to a public school and tell you that everything that you think is right and correct is absolutely wrong. To trust the science where they don't teach true science, they'll take and make sure that you follow their religion of climate change. They will make sure that your children are chopped up and cut to little pieces where you can't reproduce. That is the Democrats' policy.
Well, and here's the thing. Those people don't vote.
No.
They don't vote. You're pandering to a classification of people who don't vote.
Yep.
It's just to make yourselves feel better. Supposedly.
Yes. That's all it is.
Oh, look at this good God. Look at these people that we support.
Yes. That's what
You're
that's
not helping
that's
yourselves at all.
That's what the DNC was all night. That's what the DNC was all night, was nothing but a bunch of tokens. And the last person to speak on this, you will see how much of a token it was and how cringe it is.
I helped states and cities get back their schools back open. And we gave public school teachers a raise. We created apprenticeships with businesses and communities, putting students on a path to a good paying job, whether or not they go to college. And by the way, we're making college a hell of a lot more affordable.
Yeah, by paying off loans for people that don't need to have their loans paid off. Because to qualify for getting your loan payoff, you have to make a certain amount of money. Yeah, those student forgiveness loans are for people that can afford to pay their stuff off, but don't. That's how they're helping out.
Increasing Pell Grants by $900. Over $15 billion to HBCUs. Minority service institutions, including Hispanic institutions and tribal colleges. We kept our commitment.
Yeah, Trump
provide
beat
more
you to
student
the
relief than
punch on
ever
that one.
by lifting the burden.
Yeah, he did.
Of helping millions of families so they can get married, start a family, buy a home, and begin to build family wealth and contribute to the.
The only thing is you don't know what a family is because you separate family. You destroy families. That you don't like the nuclear family. The nuclear family does not exist in the Democrat world.
Community and grow our economy. It's not costing us, it's creating more wealth. We fundamentally transformed how our economy grows. From the middle out and the bottom up instead of the top down. You know.
Yep, because I'm thinking that homeless guy that you want to build a house for is going to really help me out with a job. Yeah. Why don't you get all your funding? But where are you getting funded from? So are you getting funded from the bottom up? Is that what you're getting your funding from? Is the money coming in from, the money wouldn't be coming from Soros to support you, would it? It wouldn't be coming from Ukraine to support you. It wouldn't be coming from, you know, the multi-millionaires and billionaires. That's not where you're getting your funding from, right? You're getting your funding from Joe Bob, you know, lives out in the stick because he needs internet service to do what? You know, Joe Bob out in the sticks, he has a farm that he can't even sell his product. You know, that's how you're helping him out, right? Because we're going to bring internet to him.
My dad used to say there wasn't a whole hell of a lot to drop down on my kitchen table at the end of the month. I come from a basic middle-class family. 3-bedroom house, 4 kids, a grandpa living with us, decent neighborhood, but never a penny to spare. And look, that top-down notion never worked. A lot of Democrats.
Yeah, pander.
I think it works.
That work.
It doesn't. And when we did all that, what we've done, everybody can do well. Everybody.
Now he's rambling.
Donald Trump calls America a failure.
See, it's all about Donald Trump. The Trump derangement syndrome is just massive with these idiots.
Failing nation.
Well, it's all they have to run.
But think about this.
Yeah.
Think about this. He publicly says to the whole world, I'm going to say something outrageous. I know more foreign leaders by their first names and know them well than anybody alive. Just because I'm so damn old. But I'm not joking.
It's not what he said. He says because he actually went and met with them and talked with them. What leaders have you talked to that are not part of some conglomerate, like part of the EU? Like who have you helped? Who have you been speaking to, Joe? Because whenever Netanyahu was there, what did you have to say to him?
Nothing.
What did your vice president? Why didn't she show up to meet with him in Congress? No, she had to meet behind closed doors because she does not agree with his policies. They're constantly calling for a ceasefire over in Israel, but yet they don't realize that Israel is one of our allies, that we said we would help protect them against aggression from all the other countries that surround them.
Think of the message he sends around the world when he talks about America being a failing nation. He says we're losing.
Because we are.
He's right.
He's right. We're failing because of the policies that you've created.
He's the loser. He's dead wrong. Many of you are very successful people who travel the world. Name me a country in the world that doesn't think we're the leading nation in the world.
Let's see. China, Russia, Japan. Should I continue on? Should I continue on with that? Where they know that we're not.
You're doing a very
America.
good job.
Yeah.
Not a joke. Think about it. I'm being literal. Who can lead the world other than the United States of America?
Well, let's see. Russia, China, Japan. I mean, just saying, they seem to be doing pretty well.
Well, guess what? America's winning, and the world's better off for it. America's more prosperous, and Americans are safer today than under Donald Trump.
Safer today, huh? Than runner Donald Trump.
Trump continues to lie about crime in America.
Oh, really? Oh, is that true? Why? Because you don't report the crime statistic coming out of Chicago, New York, Miami, Houston. You don't mention the ones coming out of Los Angeles. You don't. Those are not part of your crime statistics. Okay.
Not to mention, one of the biggest upheavals did happen under Trump's watch.
Yep.
Under the encouragement of the Democratic Party. Summer of Love. Yeah.
All right.
On his watch, the murder rate went up 30%, the biggest increase in history. Meanwhile, we made the largest investment, common law, in public safety ever. Now, the murder rate is falling faster than any time in history. Violent crime has dropped to the lowest level in more than 50 years. And crime will keep coming down when we put a prosecutor in the Oval Office instead of a convicted felon.
So, convicted felon like your son? It is that time. It is that time. I'm gonna have to shut this thing down. We'll continue this on tonight, everybody. I didn't realize it was getting to be 10 o'clock in the morning. I have work to do, everybody. I'm calling it a morning. If you want to come back tomorrow for more, or tonight for more of this, I'll have to continue it on. Give me just a second so I can reroute you guys to somewhere that's going to be wonderful. Hopefully I can get the wonderful Dictionary Diva on tonight, and possibly Volstorm, and maybe Rosalind Duke if I send her an invite and she's able to make it on. That'll be awesome. I didn't realize it was getting this damn late in the morning. Jeez. And there's so much other stuff I want to cover, but I can't cover it all because I'm only one man. I can only do so much.
I can only do so much.
I can only do so much. I'm so
can only
horrible.
Give so much.
Ah, I love it. 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 But I'm going to send you guys over so you can go watch some Meme Copium. Show him some love, everybody. He's talking about Nick Recato today because, well, that's what he does. So everybody, have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon.
Now I gotta call somebody to come get me because my car turned into a spaceship and I don't know how to fly it. I'm not an astronaut.